Okay, I'm going to do a video today on what guns work best for those who are just beginning to shoot. Now, I bring this to some people's attention because obviously you don't want to start somebody off on a large caliber rifle or anything like that. This gun here is what I started teaching my daughter to shoot on when she was about 13. This is a Marlin Model 60, 22 long rifle, tube fed, and I just got a Barska scope on it, illuminated reticle. This works really good. Low recoil, it's not super loud, it doesn't scare people, and in my opinion, this is what I learned to shoot on. When I was a kid, this was the first gun I ever shot. My father had one of these, and I saw one day, I picked it up, and it's a really good gun just to, get people to shoot, get them to learn how to handle a firearm, the safety of a firearm, and so this was a good selection for my daughter. Since then, she's moved up. She's actually getting to be pretty good with an AR-15 at this point in time. But this would be what I started her on. And I don't understand. Sometimes people think it's funny or what they're trying to do by handing somebody who's never shot before a large caliber gun, and they seem to get a kick out of watching it just tear their shoulder up or hurt them. And I've never understood that. You want people to be comfortable with the gun and advance upwards as they go to where they're comfortable handling them and shooting them. So anyone out there that wants to teach somebody how to shoot, this is an excellent platform. This is really, really good. And this is what she learned on, and she's, like I said, she's gotten pretty good now. She's moved up to ARs now. She still won't shoot one of my M1s, but, in time she probably will. Another gun, if you want to get somebody to shoot another gun that is also a 22 caliber long rifle but doesn't have a lot of kick. This gun here is a blast. It is. This gun is just a hoot to shoot. I mean, I love it. This is a Walther Umerix MP5 22 long rifle. It's pretty quiet. No recoil. I put just a cheap Bushnell red dot on it. I shoot these 25 round magazines. You can get them in 10 round magazines too if you want, but I just really like this. Now, my daughter, I can't get her away from this one. She just loves shooting this gun so much. This is classified as a pistol. That's what it is. It's a handgun technically because of this. But this gun, anyone out there that just likes the looks of the MP5, this is an economical way to go. They're very expensive if you want to get a real MP5, 9mm or 40. But this is great. Every time I take this out, people want to shoot it. And, I let people shoot my weapons. I don't have a problem with that. But it's really fun. And it's not very heavy. It's easy to control. And it's just excellent, if somebody wants to, get their teenager something, that's tactical like, but doesn't want to just put them into an AR, this is another alternative. This is a really good gun. I've no complaints about this. I mean, I've fired probably thousands of rounds through this. I've never had an issue with this gun since the day I owned it. I mean, it's good quality. There are other kinds out there like this, but this is the one I chose to buy, and I've been very happy with it. I've never regretted purchasing this gun. And it's just really, really good. So anyone out there that's looking for another alternative to get somebody into shooting guns to begin, this is another alternative. Now, handguns, those are a different story. Now, you can go online and you can see all kinds of videos of people giving large caliber handguns to inexperienced people. Now, when I was teaching my daughter to shoot, I ran her through some different handguns. Now, I can't stress this enough to people, and when I was figuring out what she would be comfortable with to begin with, I would only load one round into the chamber, and that was it, one round. And I can't stress this enough. I don't care if you're shooting a revolver, I don't care if you're shooting an autoloader. One round in a handgun chamber. I've heard so many stories of people with large caliber handguns letting people shoot them with no experience who would double tap it and basically shoot themselves in the head. I mean, it happens. And a lot of people get these 454 Casuals or 500 S&Ws, and you see that. And a lot of times, if you go to a range, look up at the ceiling, because some of those large caliber handguns, they have a tendency to double fire, and you don't even realize it's happened. Sometimes you don't even know it happened. And I say look at the range because a lot of times you'll see holes in the ceiling, and that's generally what those holes are from, is a large caliber. Typically it's a revolver. It's just the amount of recoil they produce, they can't control it. So like I said, I took my daughter out and I took some of my handguns with me, and I let her shoot a couple, and I only loaded one round in each one each time she shot it, because I'm very safety conscious. And I'm like that with anybody. And whether it's my daughter or somebody that's an adult, I only load one round into the chamber. And that's something that everybody should do when you're dealing with someone who's inexperienced shooting guns. Just one round. That way, if recoil comes back, something bad happens, there's not a follow-up shot. So what I did was I went out and I bought this. I'm a big SIG fan. I love SIG handguns. I mean, I carry one every day. I love them. They're great. This is a 22 long rifle SIG Mosquito. It's got a 10 round magazine in it, and it's got a full size feel to it. I think it's 80% of full size is what they say. But this is what I taught my daughter how to shoot handguns with, and she loves it. This is a really nice gun. The other thing about this gun is it's got safety features. Back of the handle here, there's a key, and if anybody's familiar with a Bersa, you're kind of along the same principles. When you turn this key, and what it does is it basically locks the gun up. You can't do anything with the gun with that key. When you lock it up, the gun's inoperable. But you know, I've polished the feed ramps in it, and you know, I only shoot mini mags through it. These things can be kind of picky on their ammo. If you're going to shoot the cheap junk, they do come with two different recoil springs, but I like CCI mini mags. That's pretty much what I shoot through all my 22s. I mean, it's getting a little more difficult to locate them and find them, but yeah, this is the gun that I taught my daughter to shoot, and I would recommend this. I know that Walther makes a 22. There's a lot of different 22s. I mean, there's such a wide selection of them out there now. You can get full-size 1911s, just about anything in a 22 handgun. But I got this. I think I paid like $275 for it when I bought it. But she really enjoys shooting this gun, and it's a good gun to teach somebody on. I mean, it's easy to handle. It's not violent when you shoot it, but you know, it's just like a full-size SIG. It's got the decocker on it. It does have a safety. Full-size SIGs typically don't have safeties on them, but I really like this, and I would recommend something like this to a beginner, someone who's new to the shooting. That you don't want to just throw them in with really large guns, a lot of recoil. You want to avoid that. And the 22 long rifle is an excellent round to teach somebody to shoot, especially if they've never been around firearms. It's, you know, you can teach them all the safety measures that you take when you shoot them, but the gun's not going to be too much for them. I mean, a 22 is really not going to be too much for anybody. You know, you see 6, 7-year-olds shooting a 22. I think I was about 7 or 8 when I started shooting, and they're just a really good round to begin with. I mean, this is what I would recommend anyone who's just new to the shooting, or you want to teach your kids, or maybe say you got a wife or girlfriend that's never shot guns before. I highly recommend that you don't just toss them in with something that's got a lot of recoil, or you know, a large caliber. You want to stay away from that stuff. There was a news report a couple weeks ago about a girl around Kansas City or somewhere shooting a 500 S&W who shot herself in the head because the recoil of the gun came back, and she shot it the second time and she killed herself. You don't want to do that. Get them comfortable with the gun, and then slowly work their way up. You know, my daughter's shooting 380s now. I got a Bersa that she really likes to shoot, and that's what she's, you know, learning now, and I'll eventually move her up to probably 40 caliber. But you know, for the time, I'm just taking her in gradual steps, how to shoot, basic safety, how you handle the gun, always assume they're loaded. But anyone out there who wants to teach somebody to shoot, I recommend the 22 long rifle. I've shown you a couple examples. This is the route I took. I mean, there are literally hundreds of different 22 rifles and handguns out there. I mean, just take your pick. You know, Ruger makes an excellent one. But I like the Marlin. That's what I learned how to shoot with, and I'm happy with it, and so I bought one for her. But if you're going to teach somebody how to shoot, and you want them to learn, and you want to teach them the safety of it, I recommend this round, the 22. I know it's getting hard to come by nowadays, but it's just a good way to get somebody into it and not scare them, because the worst thing you can do is give somebody a large caliber gun and you'll scare them. They won't want to shoot guns again, because in their mind every gun's going to be like that. So anyone out there wants to teach a person how to shoot, or you're just getting into it, try out 22 long rifle, wide selection, different guns. You can get AR-15s in the platform now. Just about anything you want you can get in a 22. So that's the main purpose of this video, is just to show people a couple choices, what I use generally, what I have when I want to teach people how to shoot. So I hope this video helps anybody who's curious about it. But like I say, the most important thing is safety. I mean, if you're going to shoot handguns especially, I can't stress it enough to people. Never load a full magazine or a full revolver for someone who's not familiar with firearms. Don't do it. One round, see how they handle the recoil, see how they handle the gun, before you ever allow somebody to shoot something that has a possibility of a follow-up shot. That's the best advice I can give when you're dealing with handguns. Do not give somebody a fully loaded gun. One round, that's plenty. Let them get familiar with it. Let them get comfortable with it. Even if you got to just keep loading up one round, just let them get familiar with the gun. That's the best advice I can give when it comes to handguns. I can't stress that enough to people. So I hope this helps anybody out there who's wanting to get into shooting, beginner, or teach somebody.